Rocco had learned to keep his head down. 49 years old, human, still looking younger than his age, still carrying himself like someone who expected the floor to give way if he relaxed too much. Years in the army had taught him discipline. Years on frontier stations had taught him patience. Neither had taught him how to belong. The station sat at the edge of map space, a half-legal refueling hub where species crossed paths without asking too many questions. Wolfkin traders, plated engineers, scaled navigators, winged couriers who complained endlessly about gravity. Rocco fixed their problems and ignored their opinions. He was elbow deep in a power conduit when the alert pin chimed for the third time. "If this thing pings again," he muttered, "I'm throwing it through space." "You'd need authorization for that," a voice said behind him. He didn't look up. "Then I'll charge it rent." She stepped closer anyway. Mara, wolfkin, silver gray hair, ears upright, tail still, security badge clipped casually at her hip. She carried herself like someone who never needed to raise her voice to be obeyed. "You missed the checksum," she said gently. Rocco blinked, rubbed his eyes, and leaned closer to the screen. She was right. Again. "System's doing it on purpose," he muttered. "You've been awake how long?" she asked. He didn't answer. That was answer enough. She leaned against the doorframe behind him, arms crossed, watching the subtle way his shoulders sagged when he thought no one was paying attention. She'd noticed those pauses for a while now, the delayed blinks, the way he laughed things off instead of stopping. "You don't get extra points for suffering," she said. "That's disappointing," he replied. "I was counting on a medal." Her laugh surprised him, soft, warm, real. It lingered longer than it should have. They worked side by side after that. Mara checked security routes. Rocco kept systems alive. She brought coffee without asking. He fixed things before alarms went off. They argued. They laughed. "You're grumpy for someone who looks 30, she teased once. 49, he corrected. "And it's not grumpy. It's selective patience." "Uh-huh," she said. "That explains why everyone's terrified of you." "Good," he replied. "Fear improves listening skills." He didn't know what was happening between them. He just knew she kept showing up, kept standing too close, kept noticing him when no one else did. The attack hit during a cargo transfer. Pirates breached the outer ring fast and reckless. Gravity stuttered. Lights failed. Panic spread. Rocco moved without thinking. He rerouted power manually, sealed bulkheads, dragged civilians behind cover. When a blast collapsed part of the corridor and pinned Mara beneath twisted metal, he didn't hesitate. He tore the wreckage free and stood between her and the corridor, unarmed, furious, unyielding. "Rocco," she said, breath tight, "you don't have to." "Yes," he snapped, "I do." The pirates never reached her. Later, when the station stabilized, Mara found him sitting on a crate, blood drying at his temple, hands shaking as the adrenaline faded. "You chose me," she said quietly. Rocco frowned. "I chose survival." "For me," she replied. There was something heavier in her gaze now. "You should know," she continued. "Wolfkin law recognizes acts like that." Rocco looked up slowly. "Recognizes how?" "A life freely offered in defense creates a bond," she said. "If the Wolfkin accepts it?" He laughed once, short and disbelieving. "Life's short, right?" She stepped closer. "Exactly." The truth surfaced days later. Mara wasn't just security. She was Wolfkin royalty, a warrior, a future queen. When the royal ship arrived, the station went silent. It didn't dock. It hovered, black and silver, shaped like a blade at rest. Traffic rerouted itself without being asked. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. Even the alert pin seemed to know better than to chime. Rocco stood at the viewport with Mara. So, he said slowly, that's not a courier. My father is aboard, she replied. Of course he is. When Rocco boarded the royal ship, the crew he'd known for years didn't speak. They just watched. Respect, fear, something in between. No one joked. King Kyle Threx, Iron Alpha of the Wolfkin, descended alone. The court gathered. You bonded with my daughter without knowledge of her rank, Kyle said. Correct, Rocco replied. You offered your life without obligation. Yes, and you would do so again. Rocco didn't hesitate. Yes. The alpha brute challenged him first, a towering wolfkin who believed strength meant domination. Rocco didn't overpower him. He outthought him, timing, footing, letting the brute exhaust himself. When the wolfkin fell, the court went completely still. Tails froze, ears stilled. Not a sound. Then Cal stepped forward. You will face me, the king said. Rocco swallowed. I won't fight you for pride. If you refuse, Cal said calmly, the bond dissolves. Rocco fought, not to win, to stand. He won, and collapsed. When Rocco woke, the healing bay smelled like antiseptic and ozone. His ribs screamed. His vision swam. Mara sat beside him, one hand resting on his wrist. You're an idiot, she said softly. He smiled faintly. Still throwing the alert pin through space? She laughed through her breath. I saved it. The bond ritual came next. No magic, no spectacle. Stone, breath, heartbeat. Mara placed her forehead to his. This binds consequence, the elder said, not comfort. I stay, Rocco said. I stay, Mara replied. The bond sealed. Later, Kyle stood before the court. This human is my son-in-law, he said, and anyone who challenges him challenges me. The court bowed. In their chambers, the tension finally broke. No armor, no titles, just them. Rocco laughed softly against her throat. Life's short, Mara smiled, fierce and warm. Then live boldly. They kissed, hungry, unrestrained, earned. Later, tangled together in bed, her head on his chest, his arm around her, the bond humming quietly between them. Rocco understood something simple and perfect. He didn't earn glory. He didn't escape danger. He found a place where laughter mattered, where love was chosen loudly, where home wasn't quiet, and for the first time in a long time, that was enough. If this story stayed with you, like the video and subscribe for more journeys like this and others.